Alright, welcome back to Inscryption. I feel like this has been a very good run so far. I've been pretty happy with it. Before we go forward, because I don't know where exactly we're going to go after this, assuming I don't completely screw it up, just give one last look around this place. I don't think there's anything else for me to possibly interact with or grab. There's more teeth. I wonder how often those refresh, honestly. But I've done everything else, right? How many are there now? If I screw this up, we'll count it the next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that the number of runs I've done so far? I haven't been keeping track. Feels like it's probably about right. Wait, hold on. They don't always make the same noise. I thought there was something with the mushrooms maybe, but I wonder what these are about. Feels like they should be something, but okay. So what do I have for my items now? I've still got 2 of the items I started the run with. Funny that. In a pinch, they'll come in handy. And then as for my cards right now, wow, I still have these pelts that I just didn't have to use. I think that's gonna hurt me ultimately, but overall my deck's pretty good. Now, what could it use as an actual improvement? Okay, so this would be an item. This would be a transfer, which I could use to transfer the Mantis God power or the Pronghorn power, which would be pretty good. And then what is this? I don't remember. Hold on. I actually did pull up a guide for the these things. Some of the icons are really obvious and memorable, and some of them are a little bit too... Oh, that's the trader. That's so weird. I don't know why they... Okay. With 3 pelts... I mean, that's better than... If I go to the sacrifice, I can sacrifice something to empower it even more. I could... Well, I don't know. Like, all of my strongest cards are already pretty strong. Really, what I want to do now is pare down my deck because it's kind of inconsistent for its size. I can't really do that. But if I go to the trader, I'll at least take out these pelts, which are not useless in my deck right now, but that final fight is pretty hefty. Using them as defensive items is not going to get me very far. So I think the right call, unless I've forgotten something about that final battle, I think the right call is to go to the trader. We're going to find out if I'm right. The trader's post was left abandoned. Interesting. As a sign of respect for the strange woman, you took only what you could afford. Was the trader always an option, or was it an option the last time I came here? I don't recall. Okay, so what do I have? Another moose. An adder, which with touch of death is pretty handy, or could be. Search the deck would be very clutch in the right situation. Place dams. Unkillables, not that helpful, especially when it costs me bones. Bones. The wolf. It's just a normal wolf. So I'm thinking either Magpie or adder. I don't think the moose buck is good enough to beat out the things I already have, and the elk isn't either. So deck search is nice. Honestly, none of these are great picks. Touch of Death. I don't have a lot of cards that cost bones. In fact, I have almost none. Do I have any anymore? Did I get rid of all of them? These two, is that it? So maybe that's a good call because Touch of Death gets in the way. I think this is going to be a high-speed fight. I don't think I can wait around for Strange Larva to pupate. Child 13's not that... yeah, I think it's going to be Amalgam and Long Elk because those are the only things that are on the board and useful right away. Alright. Surely this cabin marked the end of your travails. This bit is really well done. It's truly unsettling every time we do it. And it's not even like, you know, playing cheap tricks, but it just does just enough to make you... and it uses, you know, tropes that you expect from mystery type things, mystery and horror, to make you uneasy about something that's really not that big a deal under the circumstances. Alright. So, I have my ring. Will you earn my boons? The Trial of the Winged. The 3 drawn cards must include a card with the Airborne Sigil. The Trial of Rarity. The 3 drawn cards must include a rare card. I don't remember it again. The Trial of the Ring. If you have a ring, you pass automatically. There's a second boon after this, right? Would that come up again? Let the Trial of the Ring begin. So you could just pick this and fail it? Oh, you're wearing a fine ring. You pass, of course. Your choice of boons. The boon of the Ambidextrous. You may draw twice at the beginning of your turn. The boon of the Goat's Blood. Start the battle with a black goat on the board. Boon of the Magpie's Eye. This is different. When you draw from your deck, you may choose any card in your deck to draw. That's crazy. This is powerful. And up against a wall, it's the stronger, more consistent item. But if I don't fall behind... So the problem with this is you can only use it half the time, at least with my deck build. I need to pull for blood. I need to pull squirrels for blood all the time. So I'm better off, I think, like this is, if I knew exactly how the match was going to play, and I think there are 3 rounds on this one, right? If I knew exactly how it was going to play and I had a deck that I was exactly sure of the play order, then maybe I could do this. But I have to know my deck. I have to know my deck is going to have that consistency in the first place, and I need to know that I'm not about to drop the ball at any point during the fight. I need to nail it every single turn. Otherwise, I'm better off with this because I can draw a squirrel and then any other card I want every turn, which at the minimum, it might mean I overdraw, which I think is what happened. It happened once. I don't remember if it was at the end fight or somewhere else. But you know what? I wonder if I have to draw, because that was the whole thing, right? Is that it starts to exhaust you. You start taking damage for being out of cards. The hope is I've got a really strong deck and I shouldn't need to draw out my whole deck to make this happen. And if I can double up, then that means that every turn I draw a squirrel and either play something from my hand and a second squirrel, or if I'm happy with what I already have, or I draw out something from my deck, which has a very good chance, because my deck is pretty consistent at this point, of turning into something good that I can play and make a good, solid play on that gains me ground for that turn. Can I even look at I can't look at my deck at this point, that's right. I'm very curious why anyone would pick this. This seems insane. Is there something I forgot about the fight that makes this more useful than it seems? Just getting 3 blood right off the bat does not seem like a good trade. We're going with draw twice, and I'm going to really hope that I don't draw out. Alright, we will do it another time. Trial of Skins. 3 drawn cards must include a pelt card. I'm not going to do that. Swift. 3 drawn cards must include a card with the Sprinter Sigil. That might happen. I think I've got like 4 of them. Maybe more. Trial of the Finned. I think I've got 1. And I think it's a moose. Alright, we'll hope for this one. Gonna laugh if I get the moose. Ah, there we go. Cool. Alright. Long Elk is a card with the Sprinter Sigil. Success. You may choose one. The Boon of the Bone Lord. You will start a battle with 8 bones. A battle, not every battle, not every round. Boon of Goat's Blood. Boon of the Magpie's Eye. I only have 3 cards that use bones. I'm going to build them up enough anyway. The chances of me even hitting my bone cards is not that high. So Magpie's Eye it is. That solves that issue. I didn't have to pick anyway. Fascinating. Alright. You managed to get both of my boons. I rarely say this, but I am impressed. You have been a worthy adversary, but unfortunately, I must soon put you to death. God, the timing is so good. It's so well executed. Are you ready? Not really, but we're swinging for the fences. And I think we'll do that in the next episode. Ooh, my heart.